Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Suhail and I have started this channel on the history of English literature. So in my very first video, I am going to discuss two tendencies which are part and parcel of English literature, and if you are going to learn history of English literature well, then you guys have to distinguish between these two tendencies which are Romanticism and Classicism. So let's have a quick look. Classicism and Romanticism are both different tendencies which are the part and parcel of English history. At some period, one tendency dominates and it is followed by the predominance of the other one. So in this manner, they appear alternatively, one follows the other. So in history of English literature, Renaissance period of 16th century, which is also called Elizabethan period, was the first romantic period in history of English literature, and it is dominated by Shakespeare, Marlowe and Spenser. Similarly, 18th century literature is termed as classical period, which is dominated by Dryden, Swift, Pope and Dr. Johnson. Similarly, if we see the later part of 18th century and early phase of 19th century, this period is called Romantic period, and it is also termed as Romantic period. It is given name Romantic period. Why? Because this period took Romanticism to the higher level, and this is dominated by William Wordsworth, Coleridge, John Keats and Lord Byron, etc. Later on we have Victorian period. Victorian period started from 1837 to onward 1902. This period we can also was a romantic period which has romantic tendencies. And now let's have a look of modern age. Modern age which is actually the age of classicism. So this is how Romanticism and Classicism present in history of English literature. Well, even these both tendencies do not strictly oppose each other, but still people define them and differentiate them and also use them in an exaggerated manner to divide people into different camps. So let's have a look some differences between both the tendencies, classicism and romanticism. First of all, we have classicism. The classicists actually believe in reason. They believe in reason. On the other hand, romantics believe in feelings and imagination. So classicists believe in modern, civilized modes of life. On the other hand, on contrary, romantics believe in primitive and natural modes of life. Classicists had interest in urban society, but they insisted on rural solitude. Classicists was interested in human nature, while romantics were interested in aesthetic values and external nature. Similarly, if we see other differences between these two tendencies, the next one is actually mundane actuality. They emphasize on mundane actuality. Classicists actually emphasize that world is immortal. Nothing is going to be permanent. But on the other hand, romantics believe in the ideal and infinite world. Ideal and infinite world, which is mortal and which has no boundaries. So next one, classicist has satirical qualities, while they have the qualities of myth making. And then classicists accepted moral truth. They accept moral truth, which is actually the tradition, but they discover beauty and also look for progress. Okay, the most highlighting feature of classicism is they recognize the things as they are. But on the other hand, romantics do not recognize the things as they are, because they see the things beyond their physical existence. Okay, so yes, in classicism there is, you know, the concept of good and evil. But if we see romantics of different periods, they actually believe in man and goodness. They do not believe in good and evil. Okay, there is objectivity, impersonal objectivity in classicism. Now, what is personal objectivity? You know, as they believe in reasons, so they believe the thing which is collectively accepted. They do not go for personal opinions and facts. Okay, while as romantics emphasize on individual freedom, individual expressiveness, that is why they were attached to subjectivism. You know, they emphasize, they give importance to individual opinions. And then we can find in classical periods that they have a public themes, while romantics have private themes of life. Okay, if we see diction, classicists follow the formal poetic diction, while, as I have mentioned earlier, that romantics actually believe in individual expressiveness. They actually believe in individual expressiveness, as they emphasize on individual freedom. Well, the other more striking feature of classicist is traditionalism, but they do not, romantics do not believe in traditionalism. They emphasize on images, symbols, and we can find, you know, very common use of language in their writings. And at the end, romantics actually emphasize on romantic idealism. So we can also find some features in these features which are commonly used. For example, Shakespeare, Milton, and Geoffrey Chaucer use these two tendencies at the same time, simultaneously blended. So there is a difference between classicism and romanticism that I have mentioned. Some of the difference between these two important tendencies in English literature. You know, these two tendencies are very crucial, are very important to understand the history of English literature. So these features are the features of classicist we can find in the writing of Dryden, Swift, Pope, and Johnson. Similarly, if we talk about romanticism, we can see these features, these tendencies, these characteristics in the works of very early romantic period, which is called Renaissance, and its dominant writers are Shakespeare, Marlowe, and Spenser. So, as I have mentioned earlier, these two tendencies do not strictly oppose each other, as it has been pointed out, but they appear in a different ages. They followed each other, they overlap each other. One is actually grows out from the other. In this way they overlap each other, and still there is no that much, we can say that these two tendencies are very well important, have their importance in English history of English literature. So students, that's it for today's lecture, and I hope this lecture, this video gonna help you in your studies